Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peace that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I get to welcome you to the last Friday of August 2024. Of course, it's a good feel-good Friday. We got some great guests in the building today. I got Chimaera Bailey from Powerful Voices. She's going to be joining me up first to tell us more about that organization, how they're bringing great inspiration to young folks here in our region. And up next, we got Stacy Bass-Walden is going to be telling us all about Alki Beach Pride, y'all. They are celebrating 10 years this year, so we'll be diving into it with them. You see what I did there? Diving in Alki Beach? We're going to be diving into it with her later on in the show, but of course, this is the top of the show, so I get to dive in with you. You get to dive in with me, right? You're going to be helping us grow. Go ahead and share this show with folks who you feel could benefit from the daily dose of dopeness we work to give you here on The Day with Trae. And if you can't watch our TV show, we still have you covered, y'all. You can listen to us also. Isn't technology great that way? Hey, you can listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and The Day with Trae. You'll find me on your favorite platform. Now, up next, we got Chimaera Bailey in the building, all about powerful voices. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Doing wonderful, and it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Now, you got to tell us a little bit about you before we get into the organization. What got you into this kind of work? Tell us about some of those pillars.
Yes. Well, I have a long history with Powerful Voices, almost as long as my history as a organizer in Seattle. I started working with Powerful Voices in 2011, actually as a program coordinator for one of our middle school programs, Powerful Choices. And over the course of the next 20 years, I've worked with many different youth development organizations, community-based groups, coalitions, and also have dabbled in the arts as well because I'm a creative. I do filmmaking. I also used to do slam poetry, a little bit of everything, some music here and there. And, but I've never gotten away from working directly with young people because it's something that's near and dear to my heart. I started organizing at 17 and just working with an organization that allowed me to really realize what my purpose is in life and poured into me as someone who was very dedicated to justice at a young age and needed a lot of support as well. I was a homeless youth when I first started as an organizer. And people saw potential in me and decided to train me in workshop facilitation and understanding what anti-racist work is. And I've always wanted to give that back to other young people, and that's what I'm currently doing.
Yeah, I get to say that I also I've experienced Powerful Voices, and it's a beautiful thing because I had some young women in my life, and I was connected to Powerful Voices through some of my own community organizing and advocacy work, and to be able to then plug young women that I was personally connected to the organization. I mean, they experienced some phenomenal things there with Powerful Voices. So I love to have you here. Now, Powerful Voices does some specific kind of unique work in terms of community-based work. Tell us a bit more about Powerful Voices.
Yes. Well, our official mission is that we create brave spaces with BIPOC girls and gender-expansive youth ages 11 to 19 to take charge of their own power of leaders, igniting their abilities to confidently express themselves, build community, and take action against injustices that are affecting their lives. And that's exactly what we do in our programs. We have about 5 programs specifically for high school students ages 14 to 19. And we have one program that's for middle school students, that's Powerful Choices, and a couple of programs that are more of a hybrid for both middle school and high school students. But a lot of our programs merge social justice with the arts.
Yeah, this is really important too, because I think when you're young and you want to be able to express your voice, you need platforms and places where you can find your voice, first off, and find a way to use your voice for others, right? In terms of advocacy. How are y'all guiding young folks through kind of this process of, identifying those issues that really matter to them and then finding a way to be a part of that collective voice.
Yes. So we don't really take a traditional approach of trying to educate them, teach them, tell them what to do. As a lot of other types that, like, even just in school, that's kind of the dynamic. They're used to adults telling them what they need to think and how they need to be and who they are. And at Powerful Voices, we don't believe in that. We believe that young people are the experts on their own lives. They're the ones living it. We have young people who are immigrants. We have young people who come from many different backgrounds. Who are we to tell them who they are and how to use that in order to better their communities? And so really we work in collaboration with young folks. We create the container for them to have access to the tools and the knowledge and the skills that they're building together. And they do that as a community. And that's one of the things that they always talk about when we do our surveys and our post-program focus groups. They love the fact that they get to build this family with one another. They feel held together. They feel supported by one another. And for us, that's even more valuable than the output of the work that they do. One example that I'll give, we have a program called Activistas, and that's one of our flagship programs that we've had for many, many years. And so in this program, we pair an activista, a young person, with an adult ally. That's what we call our mentors. And together they research a topic that the young person chooses, something that's personal to them, that's meaningful to them. And so it could be anything from mental health to growing up as an immigrant in Seattle, to dealing with colorism, whatever the case may be, whatever is really meaningful to them. And then they work together to research that topic and then develop either a presentation or a workshop to then present at what is typically our annual Revolution conference. So really they're the ones that get to take a lot of the lead, and then we're the ones that are supporting them. We ask them, what do you need? What information do you need access to? Who do you need us to connect you with? Are there other opportunities that you want afterwards, so that they can continue the work that they're doing? And what I love to see is, like, when a young person grows up and they, graduate from high school and they're off doing their own thing, and then they come back and they're like, hey, remember when I did that workshop? Like, this is what I'm doing now, and I want to collaborate with Powerful Voices. That's such a powerful demonstration of the impact of our work.
It really is. I mean, that's like the greatest reward you could ever have when you're doing, any type of youth work, for them to actually come back and showcase how that was so powerful and important and impactful in their lives. But I just really appreciate this approach. It didn't exist much when I was growing up, this approach of, young people have the answers. And so when we're partnering with young folks, the idea is that, we make the space, like, hey, the space is here, let's design this together, is so beautiful. What are some of those things that you have really, over your years of advocacy and organizing, that you really find are these kind of anchors? How Powerful Voice is now an anchor in our community and contributes in that way. How have you kind of experienced, others saying, this is such an important program for me, it's done something great for me, throughout the course of their time with you at Powerful Voices?
Yes. A lot of the things that I tend to hear from young people is that they feel more confident in their voice. We do get our fair share of, like, more shy, quiet, reserved. And I was also that young person too. I was very shy. People always telling me to speak louder, and folks were patient with me, and I realized, that is something that's truly valuable in your relationship. Working with a young person is be patient and let them take the steps when they're ready. And so when we get to see a young person who comes in and they're really green and they don't know what to do, they're just kind of figuring things out. And over the course of the years that they're with us, it could be 2 to 3 years as they're, going from one program to another and gaining all of these different skills and experiences, and developing new relationships with other young people that they're collaborating with. And then we see them kind of grow up and grow out of that shyness, and they're the one taking the mic. They're the one speaking up about things that a lot of even adults tend to be pretty scared to speak on. So when I see that, I feel like that is a true representation of how we are an anchor in their communities, especially when we see their cousins, their siblings, coming in to our programs as well, and telling us, oh, my sister or my cousin or whatever, they were in your program and they couldn't shut up about it, and I've always wanted to be in it, but I wasn't old enough, and then they get to come, and have that same experience as well, but also in a new way, because we're always trying to innovate what we do. And even during COVID was kind of, the 2020 was the year when we really had to, just like everyone else, had to pivot very quickly from, basically an in-person model to them being virtual. But that also got us to thinking about accessibility and being more in line with our commitment to disability justice. And that's something that we're still cultivating within our organization today. So even with something that was initially a setback at first, where we kind of had to pause and rethink everything that we were doing, we decided to turn that into a strength.
Wow. Chimaera, thank you so much for the work you're doing. It's such a great staple in our community. And I'm one who got to witness it myself, right? 2 young women that I mean, they just thrived. They thrived in the programs. They took so much with them. They learned so much about themselves. And so I echo your sentiments 100%. Of course, if folks out there know of young women or young gender, I don't know the right
gender
way to say
expansive youth.
Thank you. You said it, gender expansive youth. Young folks who need to be a part of your programs, please look right there and let them know.
Yes, so definitely follow us on Instagram. That's where you can find the most up-to-date emergent information about everything that we're doing, including projects that our young people are working on outside of Powerful Voices. You can also subscribe to our monthly newsletter on our website. And we're trying to expand into TikTok as well. We're working on that, doing our best to get on as many platforms that young people are utilizing as possible. But definitely think about following us on Instagram, check out our website, our newsletter, and just keep on the lookout for our upcoming events and programs.
Right. Chimaera, thank you so much. This work is so powerful and it's needed. Literally, Powerful Voices, y'all are powerful. So thank you. Oh, wow. Y'all, what a great start to this amazing Friday. And up next, we're going to continue all this amazingness because we got Stacy in the building. We're going to be talking all about Alki Beach Pride. Y'all don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Here on Back to Vesa, it's always been important to me that we uplift stories from across the region and that no matter where you live in the nation, you never have to miss a moment of the show as we continue to highlight the beauty, excellence, and resilience of our communities across the Pacific Northwest. Why? Because representation matters. So no matter where you live, be it the Central District or Centralia, Portland or Pullman, or anywhere across the country, I encourage you to join me on this Back to Vesa journey by downloading the free Fox Local app on your phone or smart TV as we continue to elevate the very best in our communities.
Big Tobacco thinks they know everything. They think they know you, your community, the places you go, and the way that you spend your time. They think they got you all figured out, down to a formula, a calculation based off of numbers of what they think they know. Show them they're wrong. Learn more at theythinktheyknowyou.org.
Disenrollment is a situation whereby people whose birthright to be indigenous is being stolen from them by politicians that have been elected to lead.
Today, the latest or last chapter of the saga concerned the threatened physical ejectment of as many as 21 Nooksack families from their homes.
I think it come about by hatred for our family. That's what it's all about.
Our bloodline is still here. They can't get rid of us.
In your 40s, your body break down.
The comedy of Leslie Jones.
You trying to have sex after 46? Put my leg down! Put my leg down!
The hilarious Leslie Jones.
I got osteoporosis.
Don't miss Leslie Jones.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back, y'all, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me right now is Stacy. Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
How are you?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, glad you could make it. So I mean, we got Pride. We got 10 years y'all are celebrating. I gotta ask about the beginnings of this. Stacy, please tell us a bit more about Alki Beach Pride.
Wow. Well, it actually started as a house party, a gathering in our little 2-bedroom apartment across from the beach. We invited friends and said, bring a +1 and bring your beverages. And we had 80 people in our apartment. It was the first time we had a line for our own bathroom.
Oh, wow.
So that was a little interesting. And folks said, oh, you throw a really good party. This is, a nice unified party. It was after Pride. It was actually in July, middle of July. And they said, you should do this again. My wife and I looked at each other. We didn't say any words, but we just did that talking with eyes, you know what I mean? We're like, oh, we can do this. And then the next year, we took it outside. We didn't know anything about permits or anything like that. We slowly learned, what the city requires from us. And I would say our fourth year, someone says, well, what's your brand? What's the name of your event? And we didn't have one. And I thought, well, I guess it's becoming somewhat of a business. We didn't know anything about nonprofits. We had just been purchasing all of the canopies, tables, games, everything ourselves to bring people to the beach, bring more, Black folks to the beach and enjoy themselves. And when it became, oh, this costs a lot of money to do, we decided we needed to become more in the nonprofit sector. Here we are at 10 years. I still can't believe I'm saying 10 years. And myself as a massage therapist, the event planning, event directing world is tough. It is a tough thing. But here we are, year 10. We are closing down a portion of Alki Avenue. That's a big deal for the city in the summertime. And we're going to do it big.
Wow. I mean, the growth of this. I mean, you're talking about something that started in your apartment, 80 people, year one. What is it looking like today? I mean, just think about, last year. Yeah. Give us that growth and kind of the trajectory of Alki Beach Pride.
We're thinking there's going to be 1,000 plus. Other organizers always tell us, look at your numbers from the year before and double that, because you just don't know. And knowing what the weather's going to be like and what it's been like the past few days, it's our last hurrah for sunshine. So we are expecting folks to come on out. And I would suggest for them to get there early for parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is really exciting. Y'all had a great idea that clearly took on a life of its own, and it's open to folks. I mean, what does this look like? Are folks still bringing their own stuff? Like, how does that merged over the years?
Yes. we put those little tidbits out there on our socials and Instagram, bring those items that you didn't have the years before. They still, some people don't. So this year we do have cabanas. Some of those tents that we bought previous years, now we're going to use those as cabanas. They've already been sold out, but now they get to come to the beach, park in a VIP area, and not have to bring things.
Wow.
But yes, other folks, get there early, bring your shade. It's going to be sunny. Bring your fabulous beach outfits. Be ready to dance, be ready to be entertained. Plenty of food trucks, plenty of, the restaurants on Alki. We already let them know, be ready, be staffed. The crowds are coming.
Yeah, crowds are coming.
Crowds are coming.
So what goes on? I mean, you're talking, is this family friendly? Is this adults only? Like, I got all kinds of questions. Because when you're talking about an event on Alki, a lot of folks want to come and participate. So I'm not shocked that your numbers have grown over the years to now expecting 1,000 folks to come. And of course, it says something when your cabanas are sold out. That's saying a lot. So tell us about this now. People go and get tickets. What does it look like for them to participate?
Participation, $0.
Wow.
It's a free community event. All ages, all folks to come, enjoy, learn about the LGBTQ plus community. For those that don't know, we have plenty of allies, but we want more allies to understand who we are. But yeah, it's an all ages free event. 12 noon is when it kicks off to 8 p.m. Street will be closed until about 10 p.m. And then we have an after party at Mission Cantina, because that's when we'll be able to enjoy ourselves and be in the relaxed position ourselves.
Wow.
It's a long day. It's a long day.
That's a
but
long
it's-
day.
What I remember and my wife remembers is there was a 16-year-old that came up to us. He was by himself, and he said, "Thank you so much for doing this," because he was afraid to come by himself. He was afraid to go to the bigger Pride events. It was overwhelming for him. And now he's a pretty big, popular drag queen here in Seattle and in LA now. So
Beautiful.
the growth, seeing the youth get out of their shell and imagine themselves as someone running a Pride event, which I'm just going to feedback on that. You don't usually see Black women as the Pride organizers of not a Black Pride, not a women's event, a full Pride event. You just don't see that. And I don't know the reason why, but we stepped into this role, and we hope that we can encourage other young folks to say, I can do that. I want to be, running the stage, the back of the house, front of the house, doing this, so that we don't have to say, where are the other Black women running the Pride events? Change is coming. It's here.
There
It's
it is.
coming.
There it is. Well, y'all are setting a great example
Thank
too,
you.
Stacy. So thanks for the work you're doing.
Thank you.
I got to give you the time because you're going to give us all the dates,
Yeah.
the when, where, how, all of that.
Yeah.
Look right here in this camera. Let folks know how they attend.
All right. Are you ready? August 31st, next Saturday, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Get to the beach. You can take the water taxi, brings you right to the beach. You can take Metro right to the beach. Be ready to have a great time. Enjoy yourselves. If you need to reach us on Instagram, it's Alki Beach Pride. If you want to reach me personally at my Gmail, alkibeachpride@gmail, or our website. If you haven't seen the website, it's really nice. alkibeachpride.org.
Wow. Stacy, thanks so much for coming. This is going to be a major event tomorrow. I mean, look, you're kicking off the end of August perfectly. August 31st, that's huge. We just we didn't talk about Black August all week. So this is a great way to end the month. Thank you so much for all you're doing.
Look, I forgot one more thing.
Yeah.
We are having our event proclamated.
Wow, nice.
This is a big deal. So we'll have the deputy mayor come out and proclamate our event.
That's saying a lot. Big things, Stacy.
Big
Thanks so
things.
much.
Big things.
Wow, y'all. That's some great inspiration for us to end the month of August with. I'm going to wrap up all of this inspiration right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Hello, welcome to Elite Insights with Carlos Imani. We're looking to offer an in-depth look at event production industry through the lens of client experiences and joint successes. The podcast will emphasize guest interviews, focusing on client discussing their fields and reflecting on their collaboration with Elite Collective. Again, you're with Elite Insights. Carlos Imani here. See you guys in a few.
Africatown Plaza is our latest affordable housing development project. It's 126 units of affordable housing over community commercial space.
It's the first time in my career, and I've been doing this for 10 years, that I was able to design for people who look like me.
Africatown Plaza is a beacon of hope.
Africatown Plaza is a love letter to the community.
You on my mind a lot, don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, this babe, need you every day. You seem like the barging down, got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch, might wake the neighbors up. Break you in and break you out. In the end, we gon' make a child. Then we gon' hit the show. Part 2, we don't need no pause. Misty, we gon' get tipsy, don't need a power shot.
Copy my steel, face the fact that, copy my steel, face the fact that.
Welcome back, y'all, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Huge shout out to my guest, Chimaera Bailey, Executive Director of Powerful Voices. And I want to make sure I get this right. Their pronouns are they, them. Okay, I got you, Chimaera. Also, huge shout out to Stacy. Thank you so much, Stacy, for joining me. You know, with Alki Beach Pride, both of these amazing folks today just shared with us some ways that we can be inspired. It may start with something just as small as an event at your house that then becomes a huge community celebration open to all. It may start with your own organizing and the passion that you have about your lived experience, and then you bringing that out to the world. Whatever it is, you know, if you have learned anything this month, it's about circulating your dollars locally. It's about being inspired to be engaged at the local level. And yes, I do mean engage more than civically engaged. Voting is extremely important, but connection is also key to building community. And I hope that y'all felt that inspiration that I did from my guests today and throughout the week. I want to thank y'all for joining me this week. You know I'll be back with y'all next week. And until then, on Monday at 11 a.m., y'all. Peace.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.